It's the motherfucking podcast. I spit the real podcast right now. And we about to get jumping and live. If y'all want to get real up in this motherfucker, then come to I Spit the Real podcast, where we talk about nothing but real motherfucking shit. You dig?
Yep.
Man.
TUTT. I spit the real, time to spit that real, that real, that real, that real, I spit the real, gotta spit that real, that real,
Just
that
know
real,
that
I spit the real, always speak that real, that real, that real, that real, that real, I always speak that real, that real, that real, that real, that to understand the truth, come get that truth, I spit to understand the truth, come get that truth, I spit the real, gotta spit that real, that real, that real, that real, that real, I always speak that real, that real, that real, that real, that real, that. That was actually the best one right there.
It's the motherfucking
Yeah. What's up, everybody? It is. Oh, my mic needs to be on for a second. What's up, everybody? It is TUTT. And this is the I Spit the Real podcast. Yes, I am your host, TUTT, to understand the truth. Yes. And I am sitting here with my boy, Kasik. Kasik, say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody.
Nice. How'd your day been, man?
Today was interesting and
Okay, you're actually going too slow. So we're going to keep moving forward because Kasik is taking a little too long.
It's interesting.
Okay, all right, keep going.
No, it's okay. You wanted it there.
All right, cool. So this is the I Spit the Real podcast where we talk about your favorite topics, but we kind of go on a deeper level, make sure we exhaust all certain ideas and feelings and emotions to where you get the full perspective of the topic. And today's topic, we are talking about...
I'm just laughing because you... Sorry, go ahead.
Today's topic, we are talking about the NBA All-Star Weekend. And then we're going to kind of tie that into another little second part, too, that you'll have to stay tuned and listen to. Currently, right now, we're going to go through some two current events that I found quite interesting that I wanted to share. And I wanted to get Kasik's opinion and reaction to them. So the first current event, as you guys know, the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Congratulations to Philadelphia Eagles. And they beat the Chiefs, as everybody thought that they were going to try to get a three-peat, but obviously that's not working. And that didn't work. And it's going to probably take about another, I say 1,000 years, because ain't nobody going to see a three-peat in the NFL. Nah, it's not going to take 1,000 years. It's going to probably take a long time, though, because three-peat is just insane. But
Excuse me.
bringing that up, they had the parade afterwards. You know, Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts, you know, celebrating and everything. And I guess during the parade, right when they got to the Rocky Steps, I've never been to Philadelphia. I've seen Rocky several times. I didn't know the steps were that iconic, which is quite interesting. I guess when I step into Philly, I'm going to have to check that out. I want to feel like Rocky. But I guess when the parade got up in that area, I guess there was porta potties around the area, you know, for people, use the bathroom. If you need to use the bathroom, you don't want to be having people pissing on your streets. So
I'm sorry. Am I allowed to laugh during this show?
you can laugh, you can speak, you can interrupt, you can do whatever you want, man.
I'm just here to listen for now. You go right ahead. Just
All right. Like I said, you don't want people pissing on your street. So as people are waiting for porta potties, because, it's the human thing to do is wait and be patient. You had a couple that cut in front of everybody. Yes. Imagine you sitting there, standing there, jumping up and down, holding tight, holding your pee tight, trying to make sure that you can adequately take a piss in a decent time while other motherfuckers need to hurry up and take their time. I mean, not take their time. And you got somebody cut you. Okay? Now, I don't condone this action, but I can understand the frustration, you know? Somebody cuts you, you want to say something. Well, this guy didn't say nothing. He just straight up just swung at the dude in the back of his head. Knocked the dude out, and then I guess the big-ass brawl happened. And I guess during that brawl, because, you know, why not just keep it fist? Somebody decided, hey, I want to pull out a gun and really start popping shit off. And shot 2 people. You're trying to take a piss. You're waiting for a long time, right? You was just with your family celebrating the parade. Yeah, the Eagles, man, they just won a Super Bowl, dude. Yeah, bro, it's tight. And then you tell me that you just gonna get shot up for no damn reason? Bro, he was definitely real pissed off. Real pissed off.
No,
And so,
did you get his joke?
huh?
Did you get his joke?
Yeah, I just saw his joke.
Pissed off?
Yeah.
Okay. I was because you went over so quick. I'm like, did he get that?
No, I got that pretty well. But yeah,
Yes, you could say he was. That's a good first comment right there.
that is a good first comment. But Kazik, what do you think about that, man?
So, in a nutshell, the couple was trying to use the porta potty. I was having a little difficulty over here for a sec, but basically, couple was trying to use the porta potty. There was some trouble with the lines, and somebody basically just pulled out the heat, started blasting. In a nutshell, that's what happened.
Pretty much.
I mean, you got to be out your mind to be pulling out a weapon at a Super Bowl parade. I mean, it's got the word parade in it.
Right.
You okay over there?
It's just my camera's not adjusting. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah,
I already
I
look
mean,
pretty damn
think
white with
that's
all this
like-
light on me. But what were you saying, Kazik?
To put it simply, I mean, that's just ridiculous. To put it real, just quick and easy. That's
It's
just
not adjusting. It's really pissing me off. Sorry.
You're good. I'm just watching this parade over here.
This is really pissing me off.
But
keep going, Kazik.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think that's absolutely wild. I mean, guns could be drawn on a spectrum of different places, from battlefield to perhaps somewhere in between, a Super Bowl parade and,
Right.
and a war, and a battlefield of some kind for a war front. That's almost on the complete other end of the spectrum, You see what I'm saying? Like, if it's okay to pull, I know you're busy over there trying to get the production down, but I'm just saying, like, if it's, quote, okay to pull a weapon out,
Right.
in the middle of a war, then on the other side of the spectrum, it's like the Super Bowl parade's pretty much, to me, like the opposite side of the spectrum.
I mean, it's kind of like a war, though,
No, it's not. The Super Bowl was over before, okay, and now this is the parade to celebrate the winner. But, I mean, that being said, last thing I'll say about it is, I can think of some even worse places
Better.
for someone to have pulled a gun.
I mean,
That's pretty bad, but, like, church might even be even worse, or, like...
so the good thing is those people are alive, and I think they are recovering. I don't think anything crazy happened. I don't think anybody's going to be paralyzed or nothing. I think everybody's good.
Jeez, man.
But it goes on to ask this question.
Guy comes out with a red hot question. What do you think about me? Like, okay, let's keep going.
It begs and asks the question, how pissed off would you have to be to pull a weapon on somebody?
Now you're asking me that?
I'm dead serious.
Wow, man, I thought this was gonna be like a puff piece, man. This is some hard ass questions right here. First show, first questions. How pissed would I have to be to pull a weapon? I mean, that's one of the things that I kind of vowed I would never do. I wouldn't do. So
Exactly.
again, it's
Me
not
and you-
about-
me and you
it's
both.
not about emotions for me. It's not
Right.
about how angry. It's
Right.
more about what the situation would be, and it
Correct.
would be. I can't think of almost any situation where I'd pull a gun to defend even myself, other than, I mean, we're getting deep right now, but like aliens attacking, or if there's an army coming after
Yeah.
me, invading,
Okay.
quote, my country, and people were coming after me, then I'd want to defend myself with weapons. But just one-on-one, it'd be hard for me to ever pull the trigger on somebody. So I don't think, now if somebody else was getting attacked and I happen to have a gun on me, then I would be more apt to use it to protect someone else and see myself, get punished. But I, protect somebody. You got to do the right thing.
I'll tell you one thing.
Wait, what does this guy say? Not very pissed? Not very pissed. I mean, I don't know. Go ahead.
I don't know what level of anger or hatred I would have to be to allow somebody to push me to the limit of to pull a weapon. Because first off, I don't carry a weapon. Never carried a weapon in my life. I carried a box knife. There we go. It cuts boxes. So.
Yeah, but you weren't carrying it as a weapon. It was a tool.
Exactly. Straight up tool. So for that guy to not only it's like you gotta ask yourself, what do you need a gun at a parade for?
I mean, I don't know the laws and rights of Philadelphia city limits. Like, can you carry a weapon? I don't think you can carry a weapon like that in Philadelphia. But there's no reason unless you're a security officer, right?
A security officer, maybe a police officer. I can't imagine.
You just said you went your whole life without carrying a weapon besides a box cutter
Right.
at work. You spent your whole life without doing that, and this person's taking a gun to a parade. So
It's just like I've had people cut me several times. Like not cut me with a knife, but like
Box cutter?
cut in front of me.
like at a theme park or something.
Yeah, like at a theme park, and I've been mad, but never like enraged to where I gotta like.
Man, I wish I had my gun on me so I can lay these people out because
Jesus
they just cut in front of me.
Horrible, dude. All right.
Question is, what do you think? Real quick, on that note,
Yeah.
before that person had a gun on his person,
Okay.
like back in the day before he was carrying, you said it's
Oh,
a dude.
yes.
Before this person was carrying a gun around, and someone would cut in front of him, do you think he's just throwing fists? He's just been through fights. He's just been through the fights of having people cut, and he before the fights he yelled at him, and that didn't work. So then he started fighting people. Now he's carrying a gun, waiting for someone to cut on him.
So like, okay, you got to ask the
bodies.
question. Now, I'm only asking these questions because for one, the victims are alive and well.
By the way, real quick, that's good to know. You should ask your our commenter your question. See what his answer is on all this.
Yeah, I actually do want you
Sorry to interrupt.
comment and see what you guys think. Like, what do you think about this story, and like what level of piss, or could you even reach that level to where like you pull out a crazy weapon like that? But you got to ask yourself, did he like pull it out during the fight? Like, is he like fighting and then all of a sudden he like found some way during the scuffle to pull out a weapon? Or is he like on the bystander side and he's watching all his boys get in and he's like, nah, fuck this, I need to finish this?
I mean, I really don't know enough information about this situation.
We're speculating.
So you just say what? Well, yeah, probably what you're saying, a skirmish. Like, hey, you guys just cut in front of me. No, fuck you, man.
Right.
No, fuck you. Oh, yeah, fuck me. What about this? Something like that.
Well, so the report said that a brawl started before the shooting happened. So
there you go, the skirmish, the brawl.
The skirmish. But like, the person pulling the weapon, do you think they're on the outside or they're in? And if they're in the skirmish, it's like, what level of like concentration while you're either swinging or getting in a fight. It's like, what level of...
You don't know this person's history. They could have done time in the military. They could
That's true.
Probably not, but they could have.
That's true.
But they also could just be handy with a gun. They could have go to the shooting range a lot of time and know how to handle it. Or, I mean, you just don't know. There's too many variables. They could have been someone on the outside of the crowd, you just said. What kind of detective show is this?
That guy was just itching for a reason to start something. You probably right, G. You probably right. That's just wild, man. Well, I'm glad that the people are all right. I'm glad that the person shooting got caught.
That's a good point in the comment there. That's a good point.
And please, guys, any more Super Bowl parades? Let's just keep them peaceful. And if you're waiting in the line for a porta potty, just don't cut people. You know what I mean?
Wait.
I get it. If your bladder's on the edge of like exploding and somebody cuts you, damn. I mean,
wait, hold on. I'm not sure if this is going to segue to the next subject or part of the show or not, but this was the intro. You started off.
This was the intro.
Porta potties, full bladders.
It's a current event. It's one current event.
Gun attack, and you're just like, keep the Super Bowl parades peaceful, and I'm like, isn't that a given? But jeez, yeah.
Well,
that was
yeah.
a loaded intro, bro. That was a loaded.
But I thought it was also a given to not have a tyrant in the fucking presidency. But we got one, so.
Wow. This is a hot. This is a hot podcast.
All right. The second story that caught my eye, I guess it happened earlier today or something. But there's a flight that's going from Minnesota to Toronto.
I saw this.
It's wild, right? And I guess apparently, so everybody survived. There was a couple people injured. About 18 people were injured and stuff. But the plane was upside down on the runway. They didn't even explain how the plane. They said that there was high winds. The road, the runway could have been slippery, whatever. But how does the plane flip upside down?
Well, that's not too much of a mystery to me. I mean, if the wind catches the plane on the underside of the wing from one side really heavily, it could lift it up and flip it.
And just flip it?
Yeah,
but you got to go pretty high because you got to clear the wings if it's flipping it.
Don't get me wrong. That would be
that's
quite
a high
the situation in the sight for
that's
sure.
That's a high flip.
But here's the thing. On that note, the one thing I saw was one of the guys that had just gotten out of the plane, one of the survivors.
Yeah.
And he was filming. Some of the survivors were filming and taking pictures. And this guy was filming, and he's like, "We just got out of this plane crash here." And he's like, "The plane's upside down." And I'm just like, well, that's the most obvious thing in the whole. Well, the guy was in shock. The poor guy was in shock. But it's like, that's the most upside down plane I've ever seen in my life. It was like Delta. The words Delta were just upside down as fuck.
But that's like crazy to me.
But you're in shock. You're in shock. So
yeah.
Give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm just saying that was funny.
So then, I gotta ask, what's the craziest, scariest flight story you've ever had?
Oh gosh, man. Let's see. Nothing too serious, fortunately. But probably the scariest one was probably windy. Here we go with the wind again. It was probably the windiest flight I can't remember the specific one, but I'm remembering the terror of the wind shifting the plane for the first time in my life, and only time. It was when it shifted the plane left and right as opposed to up and down.
Yeah.
So you're always, we're gonna hit the ground faster. It was more when the wind was so strong, it was going left or right, and then you worry about the plane squirreling or tipping or flipping when it's hitting the runway. So that was the scariest.
That's pretty scary.
I haven't seen the engines blow out or anything like that.
No. I mean, I haven't took too many flights, so I can't really. The most scariest was probably when I went to Seattle recently, and it was just kind of just like, when you're dropping a little bit, it was windy a little bit, so as you're dropping, it's like shaking a little bit, dropping even more, and all the way down to the runway. But that's about it. Nothing crazy. That's pretty crazy though. Hey, graphics. You got any scary flight stories? Put it in the comment. But yeah, those are the two current events that I spotted that caught my eye.
Kind of crazy though with the planes.
That's crazy. I mean, I've never seen a plane upside down.
No, I'm just saying with the number of planes.
Oh yeah. So you had one that hit a helicopter
in DC.
and rest in peace to those people.
Alaska.
That's
had a
pretty
plane
crazy.
go down.
I didn't hear about the Alaska one.
Plane
Wow.
went down in Alaska, and I believe everyone passed away.
Wow. Rest in peace to that too. That's crazy.
Then I think like one or two more, maybe even in between this one. So that's like 5 or 6.
You think
So,
like
it'd be crazy that you're doing this podcast because I wasn't thinking I was going to be saying this on a podcast, but
Right.
I've been kind of bugging a little bit with people that I know
Yeah.
that are flying. I'm like, yeah, man. But
Well-
the odds are still so slim, but
Slim.
still.
it's crazy though. Things can happen. I remember seeing the jet fly by one time. And he was pretty close, but he was speeding.
Look at G's comment.
What'd he say? Bro, imagine you were a heavy sleeper on that flight and woke up literally upside down. Oh,
Just like Liam Neeson in The Gray, bro. You just
oh yeah, because so many people do sleep on the flights. It's like, oh, dude. Man, guys, stay safe, and pilots, keep people safe, please.
I mean, how exactly are you supposed to? This is humor's sake, for humor. You
Yeah.
know, like how are you supposed to stay safe? Like you're like when I was thinking about that when people are traveling. And,
Yeah.
You know, like going on a flight and you're like,
Yeah.
travel safe. It's like, what you really gonna do about it? Plane's going down. You're gonna jump out in Mission Impossible it.
You're right. But
Maybe hold on to your seat a little tighter.
think of it like this, okay? There's 200 and like some odd flights. If every single person is told have a good flight,
Yeah.
maybe that's good energy. Just all on
Positive
the
energy. Keep
positive.
Keep that flight up. We're just running on positive energy. Now that's shady. No, I'm joking. You're like, you start an airline called Positive Air, and you're like, please stay in a good mood.
Dude.
Hey, you see what G just said? He said
Uh-uh.
a jet crashed straight into. Oh, yeah. You see the jet crash the other day.
What?
Was that a Russian jet? I can't remember. I think I saw something about that. And I didn't look into it. I just was like, oh, I'm not sure if that's real or not.
That's crazy.
I just saw a title, thumbnail.
Man, on that note, I do want to kind of like, why isn't there more innovation into flight crash safety?
There is. I was thinking about today about how many flights there are, and how few flights crash. I wish every system was as good as the airline system because it's amazing that they have. There's 1 million people up in the air all the time. And look, you had a couple dozen get hurt in the last few weeks, and it's a major deal.
But it also makes sense. It's like that industry better, have like high care and safety because let's just be real. You're flying in the air. Anything happens to that plane can hit anywhere. Houses, buildings, anything. Land. It's like
I like how G said jet crashed straight into the ocean. It's like that guy should be doing headlines for a news company. Jet crashed straight into the ocean. That's just about as funny as you can put it.
oh man. Rest in peace to those people on that plane though. That's wild. Rest in peace to all these accidents, man. And count your blessings for sure.
Yeah, man, this is a serious show. I mean, I'm trying to make
I spit the real podcast.
I guess that could be really funny or really serious.
All right, so now we're going to jump into our first major topic, which is the NBA All-Star game. If you guys aren't familiar with it, which I'm pretty sure everybody should be at this point, it's the NBA. I mean, if you don't watch the NBA, climb out from under that rock because it's a real sport. It's basketball. But the All-Star Weekend happens every single year, mid-season. Kind of like a big rest for a lot of players. And I don't know. Watching me and Kazik was watching the game the weekend, and especially for like the dunk contest and like the 3-point contest, it just felt weird, awkward almost. You know what I mean? Like, Kazik, you want to speak on it a little bit more? Like, you know?
Yeah, I was looking at G's comment. He's like, "Nah, bro, I don't know what basketball is. Explain it." So, what was the question about the All-Star week? The whole, whole event, or were you asking me about
the whole of it. You thought it was like just like awkward, or like they're just trying way
I didn't
too
hear
hard.
you say that, but I guess you were agreeing with me. I said I think 3 or 4 times. But they allowed some stuff I didn't. I was, some of the jokes Kevin Hart cracked were like you said, it was a family show.
Yo.
And then, Draymond Green was like, he was supposed to be, an announcer making the show feel good, or at least I don't know what his job was, but he was like, I'm not impressed. This whole game is whack. Nobody's smiling. He's like, nothing's exciting. I'm like, man, isn't this your show right now? And he was like dogging it.
So 2 things. One, Draymond is supposed to just be simply an analyst, but he's free to say what he wants, and he was totally free speaking his mind as a player of what
Yeah, it
he
didn't
thought.
seem to bother the show
No.
overall. Like nobody was kind of like, hey, tone it down.
I mean, Chuck kind of, Charles Barkley kind of went back at him and said, well, it's because of y'all. Y'all are the reason why it sucks.
He said
But-
that to Draymond. Like,
Yeah.
What is he
On
have to do
live.
with it?
What do you mean? Oh, Charles?
No, if Chuck said that to
Oh,
Draymond,
because Draymond is part of the generational players that
Oh.
kind of shifted this whole
well, I wouldn't
thing.
disagree with anything Chuck says about the NBA show. But anyways, the dunk contest was whack. When I saw Vince Carter introducing it, I thought I got excited because I was
Right.
around for the most popular dunk contest in the world. I saw it live, and I thought it was gonna be lit. Nah, it was whack. The 2 games they had, whack.
Whack.
Well,
okay, so
Kevin Hart was funny. He was funny as hell.
I mean,
And Shaq's always cool.
that was my part 2. Kevin Hart called Shaq a porn star,
That was my
and
favorite
me and
part.
you was shocked. We was like, "Yo,
I told you I couldn't
He
believe
said
he cracked
that on
that
TV.
joke, bro. That was his first joke. He's like, "What's up, Shaq? Yeah, you look like a portrait."
and me and you was like, well, he ain't lying."
Oh no, bro, not at all. That's what was so funny about it. Cause even Shaq had to sit there. I don't know if you watched that back. He sat there for a second before he came up with his "Kids Are Us" clothing. Comeback.
he said Kevin Hart got a training bra on.
No, before that he said he had "Kids Are Us" clothing. Where do you shop at? Kids Are Us. But
Yeah, the jokes was pretty funny. Which, see, a lot of the old heads didn't really like it. I loved it. I loved the jokes because I think you need a little entertainment with the All-Star. Now, I agree. All-Star Weekend as a whole can be 10 times better. They tried too much with the Mr. Beast, half court shot thing. Even though it was cool to see that kid score that half court
that
shot.
part was cool, actually.
I
mean,
I'm not a big fan of Mr. Beast.
that guy won That kid won $100,000 at the buzzer against Damian Lillard in 3 points. Well, he didn't beat him in 3 points, but he won.
No.
He had to make one
Because he had 2 minutes and he scored it in the last couple seconds.
buzzer beater.
Yeah.
$100,000.
I mean, for that kid, that just changed his damn life. But for me as a viewer, I'm like, all right, that's cool.
And I remember how you said, Mr. Beast is like, "What you gonna do with this money if you win it?" And the kid's like, "Help out my family and go to college." And you're like, "Man, that's not the answer Mr. Beast wanted to hear." You're like,
Well, he
wanted
even
me to
backed
say
up.
something crazy.
He even backed up and he kind of smirked for a little bit and then he said, all right. He just kept on going about the show. Old heads hate to laugh. Yeah, they do. Oh, man. Yeah, dude. I have mixed things of Mr. Beast because I don't trust any of those apps that allow people to, like, you're pressing a button and you can make, popping bubbles and you can make some money off of them and all that. I don't really trust those apps.
Honestly,
They seem way too damn easy.
I don't even know what you're talking about, but anyway.
Those
Besides
like
Mr. Beast. We're talking
those
we're
like
talking about the damn.
yeah, just the
Allstar.
apps in general is to sell that. But I think I bring that up because I'm like, they could do without that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now
Now,
and same with like remember. Oh, go ahead.
now, what I will say is fan interaction. If they can figure out a way, like, that's one aspect. If they can figure out a way to include a little bit more fan interaction, that'd be cool. Although fans can already vote their own all-stars in
How
there.
about this? Since they already mix up all the teams, they have the OGs against the
Rising Stars, and
so
then
they
like
mix
the
up
global,
league.
the
So they mix
global.
up the all-stars,
Right.
all-stars in those categories, right? How about this? You take one of the players out on the court off of each team, throw in a super fan to play with them.
I kind of like
Now,
this.
you got liability, I mean, someone falls,
I mean-
who was it? Jaylen Brown, like
Yeah.
elbows a fan in the eye. You're gonna have a
But how tight would it be to see Jaylen Brown just cross up a fan, or like Jaylen
tight.
Brown,
That's what I'm saying.
or like Giannis just dunks straight on a kid?
I mean, liabilities and safeties and attorneys aside, like I think it'd be a great fucking show. That's why I said the shit.
Giannis is just dunks on like a little kid, and he's just like, "Urgh."
A super fan over 18, bro, at least. Just a
Okay,
little
over 18,
kid.
okay. Still. That would be tight. So I think two things. Cause I agree on one end, the All-Star has lost its pizzazz. It used to be the stars took it really serious.
Well, when do you remember it having pizzazz?
It still had pizzazz even when, like I told you, like my favorite moments is like Nate Robinson dunking in the dunking competition because he was short, but he was a good dunker. You had Vince Carter won. You had Steph Curry in a 3-point. Jason Capono, is it Jason Capono or Williams? I think they both did. They were both from the Heat. I was a huge Heat fan, so when they were participating in a 3-point shootout, ooh, I was in there. Like when the stars actually come out and really participate. Like to me, a dunk competition isn't second year Stephen Castle or G Leaguer Mac McCullen, even though he's the one that's been saving the dunk competition, doing all those crazy ass
Saving it? What do
dunks.
you mean? Like
I mean,
saving it? Like,
I mean, he's the one that's been
you
creative.
mean keeping it alive? But
He's been keeping it alive. But that's my point. Like I wanted to
that's
see, I want to see like a Ja Morant or like a Anthony Edwards.
I think you just hit the nail on the head because listen, I haven't seen a dunk competition or an all-star or anything like that that's impressed me. Granted, you know me, there was a long time I didn't watch sports for many years, really,
Right.
on a big level like that at all. So I missed a lot of stuff. But from what I've seen, anytime they have a dunk contest, they go back to the one with Vince Carter.
Right.
The last one I remember watching, and I don't know if it's because I was young. I was in high school when that happened. I don't know if it's because I was young, or if it's truly because you had the best of the best.
Yeah, the best
stars
of the best.
in the league that could dunk crazier than anybody else, and they went all out,
Yeah,
all out. And I haven't seen even a sliver of anything. No, I didn't. Now, hear me out.
Now,
I
Blake
didn't see
Griffin
Steph
had a
Curry.
little bit of that.
I didn't see Steph Curry in any sort of competition when he was at his prime. I missed all that, so I can't tell you what the All-Star show was like at that point.
He missed a lot, but he did a couple of 3 points a couple of times, but
Well, yeah, I'm sure he did.
like
But he's not doing it anymore. See, he played in this whatever you want to call it, but he didn't do any.
But the 3-point has still been steady good, although there should be more 3-point shooters than some that aren't really 3-point shooters. But it's still been pretty decent. It's the dunk contest has kind of been lame, and then the main game, right? So they started with the East versus West. That was the setup. It's been the whole time, and then they transferred to like LeBron, LeBron team and Steph team or whatever the case may be.
That would be cool.
And players didn't really
cool?
take it that serious. And then there was another format maybe a little bit before, but I can't remember.
So it's all
and
been
then it brought up to this one. And so to Draymond's point, when he was like, okay, you work so hard to be an all-star, which this was why Charles Barkley's point was so valid, was, okay, so Draymond Green's point was, we work so hard to get into the all-star, to only score up to 40 points, to barely break 15 points if as a player. But to Charles' point, he said, well, dude, we gave you a full game and you weren't taking it serious.
You guys are the guys lollygagging. Let me put it real simple. You just said something. Or we said it that night on the All-Stars. And this, to me, this is the answer to the whole problem of what we're talking about right here. So
right.
If you have Ja Morant and Ant-Man in the dunk contest, like, do you know how many more hundreds of thousands of tickets you're gonna sell?
You're gonna sell.
Or views you're gonna get.
You're gonna sell.
Like, I say hundreds of thousands, but I'm probably
even
at
better
least a million
if they fully take it serious. If John Moran and Anthony Edwards is like Vince Carter when he was like, I'm gonna show y'all 4 new dunks. If John Moran and Anthony Edwards came out and was like, I'm about to show y'all a couple of new dunks you've never seen.
And not only that, you
And
have
they
an event.
competed?
You have an event director that sets it up so that it's extra lit. Like,
Yes.
remember the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight? Worst event I've ever seen in my worst. What do you call it? Like the finale or whatever it was. The grand finale of the event was the worst I've ever seen in my life. But I've never been more fucking hyped to see a show.
Oh yeah.
Than that show.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna change my life. Is
yeah.
Mike T coming back?
I
from
thought
the
Mike
old
was
days?
gonna knock Jake Paul out.
Not just that. I thought it was gonna change my life. Bro, do you hear what I'm saying? I'm thousands of miles away. I'm like, this fight's gonna change my fucking life. But that's how much they did a good job of the production. So if they get a better production, they get Ja Morant in there, they get Ant-Man in there.
I agree.
Tatum was in there and Curry was in there, but if they're like, bro, you guys do good, there's a lot of money.
I agree.
If you guys do good, and it's like, but for some reason there's not some sort of push to make it big. Is that someone's?
So
I don't know how you want to take that. But.
So the ideas have popped out where, okay, you add an incentive. Just like with the play-in or the play-in tournament, or not the play-in tournament, the in-season tournament, you add an incentive to keep players engaged and stuff like that, right? Okay. Players are making so much fucking money, more than what players were making when they were good. Magic, Jordan, more than what they were ever making in the league. They don't really care about the money. So it's like, okay, we could try to do this format. Didn't work. Okay, so now another thought process was, okay, let's do the international players against the U.S.
Real quick,
players.
you told me one of the biggest problems was the people weren't caring about the money. They're making so much money they didn't care about the money incentive.
They're just not caring.
That's a big fucking problem. Right
exactly.
there. No, I'm saying you're looking for solutions past that, and I'm like, you should probably stop at that, fix that problem somehow. I don't.
Well,
have
so
an
like,
answer for that.
so like the major stars, they don't really care. It's the younger stars that are like, dude, we ain't making that much money. I want to be a part. That's why you saw like the All-Star in the All-Star game, there was no incentive, but the younger stars were playing a lot harder.
Why does this got to be so much more fucking complicated? It's basketball. Why does this got to be so much more complicated than it has to?
This is the reason.
Is G still on here?
This
G,
is-
you got any solutions for this? This is ridiculous, bro. By the way, you got another viewer, bro. You got somebody else on the show. So.
Hey, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the show.
No,
I
I don't-
appreciate you.
Are you kidding me with this?
Yes.
It's a basketball.
Yes.
I guess maybe give him a part in the movie. Hey, whoever fucking plays the best in this All-Star match gets a part in the next Mission Impossible with Tommy. Okay, I don't fucking know, bro. Like, you're saying they're offering him mad money, and they're like, nah.
Nah.
And then the only guys that are taking the money to play hard in this All-Star are these young guys that nobody cares about. No offense to these younger players, but it's like, We want to see John Morant
don't care.
dunking it with his face or some shit.
So, I think I got the solution that solves everything. You know how the Pro Bowl happens before the Super Bowl, but it's at the end of the season, right?
Okay.
Why not just move the All-Star game before the NBA Finals? So you have the playoffs going, all that, and then there's like a nice small little break in between the last couple of games that are being played and the finals.
At first, I thought that was the dumbest idea I ever heard in my life, and then after that, I thought it was a really good idea. But now thinking about it 3 times, I'm thinking that's a good idea, but you're still gonna have them not playing hard because if they got the fucking finals coming up, and
You got the final.
They got an All-Star game. You think they're gonna be risking?
No. So the people that are playing in the finals,
Yeah.
they don't participate.
Well, there's some of your best players. Your
They're
stars.
considered.
Okay,
They're
okay.
still stars, but they're going to be showcasing their
Yeah.
talent on the
In the
biggest
championship.
stage. So everybody else who is not
Yeah.
competing still want to keep
That's
their
not a
legs
bad
fresh.
idea.
You want to still keep your legs fresh and stuff.
Because everybody gets
You get
hyped
them.
around championship time playoffs and all that. And if
Exactly.
you have if
There
you
ain't that many stars in the damn
Hey,
finals.
I think we just solved it. Better production team.
Right.
Get in the people that people want to see, the players that people want to see, and what was the other one?
And move
Timing?
it from
Yeah, the timing.
mid-season
There it is.
to end of the season.
Hey, we just fixed the All-Star problem for NBA. You're welcome, NBA.
You're welcome, NBA. So then,
Too bad it's just us out here.
hey, you heard it from here first, from the I Spit the Real podcast.
We just fixed it. So when they do, you just know they probably stole it from us.
That's tight. So, leading to the last second half of this topic, there's a reason why I wanted to bring this up. And it's going to be a little bit more serious, but it could be jokingly. Pre-warning, we are not that educated in politics. I can also just speak for myself. I'm not that educated
say in general. Come on, man.
in politics, okay? I know
that's fair.
bare minimum.
That's fair.
But I'm bringing this up because for so much engagement of people trying to figure out, oh, how do you make the NBA better? How do you make the NFL better? How the fuck do you make politics more engaging without it being straight up reality TV show? Like, for good. Not like what Trump is using it, where it's like, it's entertaining. The motherfucker's entertaining. The motherfucker's crazy also. But it's not good for the country. It's like, how do you get how do you get people more engaged in politics so that they are more accepted to the
Hold on.
to the laws and stuff?
We got to jump back real quick. G just had a hot message popping in. We got to address his question, then we can move forward back to this.
Okay, what did he say? He said maybe they should grab people who didn't get drafted that year and have them play for a spot on the worst team. Maybe they should grab the people who didn't get drafted that year and have them play on the worst team.
He's talking about some grimy ass competition.
You're like
like
trying to find your Rudy or something, like.
Maybe and fireworks during that game. During the game, they got fireworks over the court or something.
I don't know if I like that, G.
I like the gladiator style. Let's get that. But no, back to your question.
Okay.
Real simple. The first thought that came to my mind, I think it would be so great. I would watch the happenings within the Congress more if they had maybe someone gets selected. You sign up for a raffle, right, in your city, wherever it's going on, and if you win it, you get to go in, and probably be some basic screening, make sure you don't have anybody coming in that's gonna do anything too crazy. But basically, they come in and they get to ask a question, or you have a certain amount of people come in. Everybody gets one question. Their question gets answered. They take off. So during the proceedings of Congress, they have a spot where they stop and they go, okay, well, this is blah, 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 blah. Introduce yourself. What's your question? Like, I just don't understand. I noticed what Senator blah, blah, blah just said.
Right.
But I don't understand the whole part about this.
Can you guys please explain or elaborate?
That?
Yeah.
So, and that way, it's elaborating a little more on whatever bill might be being talked about or whatever issues being discussed.
I think the most... Will you finish?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
You got the gist of it.
I think the most crucial part of what you just said is this. A citizen inside watching and or interacting.
Well, just like I said, keeping it real simple for at least for the start, and having somebody just being able to ask a layman's term question, and then it's the Congress's job to take a second,
Right.
stop for a second, answer the question so that your average American be like, oh, okay,
Exactly.
yeah, man, I kind of understand that a little more.
Okay. Okay, I like that. Any of the viewers, you guys got anything you wanna add? The question is, knowing that we're trying to get all these other industries engaging, more people engaging, how do you get people more engaged in politics?
When you were saying, how do you make politics more engaging?
Or how do you make politics more engaging in a good way, not in a, entertainment crazy, but like in a good way? That is it.
You can maybe have them throw around the football too in the Congress room too.
Throw a little.
Johnny, you're up. Your question.
Didn't they used to have okay, say for example, what if it was like President's Day? Now, I get it. Everybody has different opinions on presidencies, right? Imagine a world where we didn't really have too much discrepancy on our president. Like everybody was pretty much about 80 to 90% of the country was like, okay, this is our president. Imagine a President's Day where it's like you have the community come out and you kind of hang out. Of course, safely. You have security all over the place, but you have this open area where you just have people mingling and talking with the representatives. Now I can understand safety issues. It sounds like a lot of people don't trust a lot of Americans, so I get it.
I mean, you saw the rally last year, right?
I get it. So I guess. Then again, I said.
Started the show off with the porta potty incident.
I said, imagine a perfect world.
Okay, my bad. I forgot about that. Bro. That's the hard part. No, I'm just kidding. But,
okay, all right. Bad idea.
Yeah, usually your first ones are a little. No, I'm joking. But.
Oh. Okay, Graphics said, host an All-Star game involving Congress.
Here he goes.
And the best dunkers in the NBA, so we can watch the people we don't like in Congress get posterized. All right, no more comments from the chat. No,
Basically just cut G off.
like, how do you choose?
Hosted All-Star
Like,
game.
it's already polarizing to choose the certain Congress we don't hate. I mean that we hate.
G's idea would be so sad, but it would actually be lit. You're like, oh shit, Pelosi just got dunked on. What was your last question? Your last point? Oh, just making the Congress more engaging?
Yeah. Well, that was his point.
I like the idea, what you're getting at, though. I like what you're getting at.
Yeah.
You want your, because I think you're saying that because
like here's another thing.
Because you don't feel like getting involved with Congress.
I want them to bring back statewide Schoolhouse Rock.
All right, dude. From what I know, Schoolhouse Rock was like 20 years before my time. So that means it was like 50 years before your time.
Okay, so remake it.
That's for like elementary school kids or some shit. I I'm just saying I didn't learn much from that, okay? I mean, maybe it was my fault, but
Come on,
I
man.
remember that being impactful.
I'm just a bill. I'm only a bill.
What is that really teaching you?
And I'm living on top of capital.
Stop. Dude, what the
Oh, man.
All right, so we fixed the All-Star situation. We fixed politics.
Yes.
We flipped the planes back onto the right side of themselves.
What type of wrap up is this?
We fixed the airline issue. We fixed politics. What's next?
I didn't know we were in a Always Sunny in Philadelphia
What
show.
else do you need us to fix? What's next?
I mean, that's pretty much it. We fixed everything.
Damn.
That was the show.
That was, here, I thought it was just going to be a simple, easy little podcast. We just fixed all sorts of issues.
Nothing simple with I Spit the Real. Nothing simple with TUTT.
Well, we didn't fix the airline, but we did come up with some good ideas for the Congress and the All-Star.
I think we put on some good ideas.
What do you call it? The All-Star? What do you call it?
It's called All-Star Weekend.
All-Star Weekend? Okay.
Yeah,
And
we could probably
All-Star
change.
Weekend.
We could probably change the name
It's a
too.
lame-ass name. It's All-Star Weekend. There's the first problem. Damn.
Well, because it's really called the All-Star Game, but you have a weekend.
yeah,
It's All-Star Weekend,
So
but
you don't even know what's going on. But I'll tell you what, man. I appreciate you letting me be on the show. I'm honored that you think I'm interesting enough to be on a podcast. So
I mean,
it was awesome.
are you officially going to be on all the time?
I mean, if I'm here and you got the mics popping and it's on,
Is this
I don't see
the
why not?
I Spit the Real with TUTT and Kazik?
If I don't have any deadlines, I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
You heard it, folks. You heard it. And maybe we get one more person, but when he decides to not be scared, he can hop on.
I don't think he's scared. He's just busy. Thin line,
Busy.
I guess.
Busy doing what? No, I'm just messing, man. All right.
Working. Usually when someone says somebody's busy, it's like they're working.
All right. It is 11 o'clock, and
He's busy unsubscribing. Is what he's doing. He's unsubscribing.
don't leave. We need you. All right. Well, I Spit the Real podcast. I don't even know if this is gonna be the first episode. This is probably just gonna be the prelude. Not fully the first episode, but
Super prelude.
definitely an improvement. Definitely was a dope ass show. I think we fixed, as my friend Kasik would say, we fixed a lot of problems. Although this wasn't a podcast to fix problems. It's just a
Maybe
talk
now
about
it
it.
is, bro. Maybe now it is. One at a time. Bring him to I Spit the Real.
The I Spit the Real podcast. It's your boy TUTT. Peace.